Around Dinarland recently. From TNT, KTFA, Agidad77 and others. First up on TNT. From DAWS, some thoughts on qualifying at the exchange meeting. Exchange thoughts. DC's comments about bank exchangers' determinations of your qualifying for contracts are general guidances. My gut tells me it will go much differently for most. These are broad generalized statements of guidance to help many of those that really have no prior experience or concept of business or banking. Just be neat and look like you meant to get dressed to meet someone that you want to have a kind and favorable impression of you. It's just a first date, not the wedding. I am not even going to let the idea of some qualifying cloud my experience of this thing. The quickest, easiest way to appear or be perceived as fearful and lacking confidence, is to feel you are being judged on those attributes. Winners don't do that. Just be a good representation of yourself, not somebody else. Be kind, put a smile on the inside and outside. Be yourself. Being fake won't get you paid any quicker or better. Really feel the smile on the inside, visualize it, practice it now. It really does change the energy in a meeting. You'll be fine. I would not volunteer too many details, ideas, or concepts. Generally, all great ideas always find opposition. A neutral, confident stance may be wise. A friend once told me, you don't have to tell everybody everything you know, and it's better that you don't. Bankers would rather hear that you want them to tell you about all the plans, possibilities, structures, and opportunities they may provide. WMs don't want to be told how to do their job or how you want them to do it. Ultimately, they truly just want you to hand them the money to plug into their existing system. That's the way they are trained and what they are generally used to, and that's just the reality of the thing. We will be calm, confident and smiling. They will be tired, disoriented and anxious. Surely we can meet in the middle somewhere. If you are asked about your plans, maybe a simple but somewhat ambiguous reply may be best. I plan to make my immediate family a little more comfortable, and then I want to learn how to protect and grow my money for generations, and I need some help with that. That will push all the necessary buttons. And remember, if you don't understand, ask. If you don't get an answer you can understand, ask somebody else, and if it don't feel right, don't do it. Hello Mr. Banker, I have Iraq dinar, Vietnam dong, and Zimbabwe currency. I would like to exchange. Can we discuss the most favorable rates and terms, both public and private, available for each? Well, Mr. Banker, I received some information in the past that there may be more than one rate available depending on how we executed this exchange. If there are other options beside an exchange at the international rate, I would like to explore those terms and requirements if they are available to you or any at this bank. Relaxed, confident, friendly and purposeful. Easy, simple, honest, informed, and direct. From Sabicord, 20 years ago we had Bob Hope, Johnny Cash and Steve Jobs. Now we have no Hope, no Cash, and no Jobs. Please Lord, don't let Kevin Bacon die. Some people should be very grateful that I don't have mob connections. I wish I had a cute laugh or one of those laughs that make people laugh, but I sound like a hyperventilating walrus with asthma. Just thought I should warn you. My sanity has departed and left no forwarding address. Stupid people aren't annoying. They are free entertainment. Sometimes I question my sanity. Occasionally it replies. I'm glad you are learning to laugh at yourself. That was getting awkward for the rest of us. I really think it's time to take warning labels off everything and let stupidity work itself out of the gene pool. I try to be nice. But sometimes my mouth doesn't cooperate. Once you lick the frosting off a cupcake, it becomes a muffin, and muffins are healthy. You're welcome. Next up from Agidad77. Article, Twilight News/Agency Standard & Poor's Credit Rating. The classification of Iraq was confirmed at B/B with a stable outlook. Well, we can see the negative side to this, the B, or we can instead focus on what we see as a positive, that their fiscal discipline has improved and it is believed will remain stable for the next few years, or at least for a few days, until God explodes a blessing all across Iraq. Oh, how quickly things can change, so very quickly indeed, in my opinion. On KTFA. From Bill Look, so now the Dutch are considering dumping the euro. Weren't we surprised that the Netherlands was one of those 7 countries that Frank mentioned in a CC, investing or moving a lot of dollar into Iraq? Dutch relations with euro up for debate after lawmakers commission probe. The Netherlands' future relationship with the euro will be comprehensively debated by its parliament following elections in March, after lawmakers commissioned a report on the currency's future. The motion approving the investigation by the Council of State, the government's legal advisor, coincides with a rising tide of Euroscepticism in Europe, which populist parties are hoping to tap into in a series of national elections this year, also taking in Eurozone powerhouses France and Germany. The probe will examine whether it would be possible for the Dutch to withdraw from the single currency, and if so how, said lawmaker Peter Omtzigt. Omtzigt, of the opposition Christian Democrats, tabled the parliamentary motion calling for the investigation, which legislators passed unanimously late on Thursday. From Backdock, I believe their presidential election is on March 15th. Doc, in my opinion. Last up from Anonymous. Revaluation. My understanding of what I was told is this is a calculated adjustment of the value of an individual currency based on the resources per capita, per the amount of people in that currency's country. Also my understanding that this would be done so that the currencies of all countries would be on a par with each other's. It may sometimes seem like splitting hairs to try and have an ultimate and final definition of terms, however perhaps necessary. There are so many people coming at this from a variety of angles, some varying greatly and others just shaving off the slightest of degrees. This makes for very intense light shining on lots of poignant bits of information as well as concentrating larger groups of general information. Gold backed. Heard in America gold used to be 1/7 with silver, then came the so-called gold standard, which was achieved by taking away silver. Perhaps the key to what we are thinking is, insured by gold, or, currency underwritten by gold, however the valuation is upon the resources per capita. The dollar I think can be said to be the world currency, and so it may be that by its nature it manipulates the valuation of every other, I don't know. Whatever all of that history has brought us to today, now we have Reno, at least that is what I hear and seems to be the case. From rumor, supposedly the TRN has been traded in international markets for more than a year, I think. I don't know how to validate. The RV happened in October, meaning what? All the calculations of the valuations were performed. And they are watching, with the numbers all computed so they know what it will look like. And so maybe GCR is the moment all the tickers and numbers go to zero and all the valuations are plugged in from that point, and whatever happens after that is new, and a clear break from the old.